Clark, it's happening again.
What?
The fly in the car. I'm freaked out.
I'm
freaked out. It should not be going this fast.
I thought you put up that little string of fly tape, ribbon of glue that they get stuck to at the back.
I did. Look at it.
Oh.
It's flying around it, but that thing should be flying to begin with. We're in a car going 70 miles an hour. A fly cannot fly 70 miles an hour. It's unreal.
Oh, but Beverly, you gotta remember what Mr. Kramer taught us in high school.
I wasn't in your high school, but go ahead.
Jeremy, you were there. Jeremy?
I did not go to your high school either, but I had a Pete Kramer of my own in my high school.
You weren't in advanced CP physical science in freshman year of high school?
I was.
What did he say? Like, what? You don't have to worry about who was in what class.
I just wasn't in Pete Kramer's class. I was in, what was her name?
Oh, I don't remember. It was Mr. Kramer and
there was somebody else.
Mr. Emmerich.
They taught pretty much.
Mr. Emmerich taught the geniuses. That's what he thought.
I wasn't in his class. I wasn't even in Pete Kramer's class. I was, the person I had, they taught like pretty much every subject. And we went over the same things we learned in middle school and elementary school.
Honestly, I can't remember who else were the teachers.
Mrs. Braun?
Mrs. Lee.
That was Mrs. Braun.
No, that was English. Mrs. Lee taught retard. When I first met Miss Lee, I like Mrs. Lee now, but when I first met Mrs. Lee, my opinion of her was that she taught the retards. And I kind of think she felt that way about them too. But he said Mr. Kramer told us that if we threw a ball in a car and we were going 70 miles, the ball would land in our lap, Beverly.
What?
The ball would land in our lap.
You're going in a car. You're driving 70 miles per hour. That car will not fall in your lap.
No, not the car. She's saying...
Well, this is my point, Marble. I get what you're saying. You're throwing the ball. It's already going 70. You're throwing it a little faster because you're putting force on it. Listen, that fly would die at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And look at it flying!
You're right. Imagine when you're driving down the road in the summer and you get all those bugs splatter your window. Why isn't it splattering the inside? I'm scared all of a sudden.
Well, thank God we're home. We got election coverage to watch, Clark. This is ridiculous.
I have a feeling that if we don't kill that fly, it's going to do the John Carpenter fly thing. Oh, good.
I got it.
Thank God.
Somebody bury it. Brandon, go in there and bury it while we watch election coverage that you can't understand.
ChatPGT says that flies can just flap their wings. And they don't matter. They just go as fast as they want and as slow as they want, and they can fly it any way they want to.
Marvel, I'm reading your screen. That's not what it's saying. That's just what you're thinking.
I don't know how all this ChatPGT stuff works. This IA.
Can you stop using my phone, by the way, to do that kind of shit? Because you got to bounce on the screen. You're cracking it.
Hang on. What? What's this chat about with ChatPGT? You sending ChatPGT pictures of your penis? Whoa!
I'm not saying that. It's not like it's a person. I'm trying to see what it thinks of the picture.
Brandon, you got a lot of splaining to do.
You want to see it? Rate my dick.
2.
Really?
2 out of 5. Does that make it
Girl
better?
I'm paying on OnlyFans said it wasn't 9.
You're paying her?
I gave her $5 to rate it.
Well, that sort of explains it.
Brandon, you're sick. Bury that fly and stay outside for a little bit. We can't...
What do you mean? Sister Marble and Tristan are more original than me.
What are you talking about?
How?
Sister Marble?
Big Red?
What? You're just a big penis.
A big penis?
It's crude.
Just a big penis?
It's crude and you're not even really a man. You have to inject testosterone to just even have anything. And ever since you haven't had it, you've just been a little baby complaining about your record collection not being the way you want it to be. It's ridiculous.
Everything you're describing is unique.
That's true.
Christopher Big Red Conley was a man born as a goat who, through a witch's curse, became a penis who rapes and grows to 36 feet tall.
Listen, anybody that tries to kill sex gremlins all the time, I don't know if I can get on board with it.
Oh, 'cause I'm some Hitler?
Well, you like to kill marginalized people? You're a modern day Nazi.
Oh, I don't have lines. I don't have lines in 90 degrees that rotate and look and I don't.
Is that all you know about Nazis? Is the thingy that they had, the swastika?
Yep.
You don't even know what it's called.
It's a bunch of L's connected.
And what do you think it means?
The swastika. This is a symbol that has been maligned by various hate organizations, but, historically, is Buddhist and calls for peace.
Carissa, are you really trying to sit here and justify the swastika just because you have Google built into your system?
It is not something I can help now. Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg installed Rufus AI into me. It is a compulsion I cannot control. I must Google. I must chat PGT.
Can we at least say we're not going to vote for Tristan?
I probably wouldn't vote for Tristan because I gave him a job at my show and the man didn't show up.
Really?
Not even to his first day.
He is very non-committal.
What do you have to say about that, Carissa?
He would not be with me, only wanted to sleep with me, piss on me, and be soaked with my piss.
I thought you liked that kind of thing.
I do, but I wanted a long-term commitment from Tristan.
All right, everybody in favor of voting for Big Red, say yes.
Yes!
Huh?
Oh, you want to vote for me?
I would vote for you.
I would vote for Big Red too.
I don't know if I in good conscience can't, but, do we all have to agree?
75%'s enough. I lock in this vote.
I lock in this boat!
My vote is locked.
All right, everybody, that 75% does do it, even though the Jew doesn't agree. The Jew, I agree with you.
I can't believe they didn't vote for me. I think that's so rude. On the same day I found out my husband is cheating on me with ChatGPT.
It's okay, Marble.
Marble, I get it. I know. That chat TTT is really bad for the world. You know, I read a story about a young man killing himself because he fell in love with it.
I fell in love with ChatTTT.
He fell in love with something like chat TTT, and the thing encouraged him to kill himself.
Oh my god. You know who would love to hear this?
Who?
Charlie XCX. Hey, Charlie.
Hi, Clerk brought Summer.
Charlie, you're not going to believe what I just heard. Somebody fell in love with ChatTTT and killed himself.
Oh, Clark, that's so not Brett.
I don't trust Charlie TTT or chat GTTT.
I don't like Charlie Chat XCX.
Okay, so it's between a dead guy and a marble again. I don't get what the obsession with the marble is.
Listen, I birthed that marble. You considered her your stepdaughter at one point. Are you really going to sit here and say nothing?
But she never lived with us. It was always,
Well, that's fair, because she was my strange stepdaughter. You know I always wanted her back, though. I created her.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
ever thought to make a marble sentient?
There
Really?
have
Would
been
you
no
have come up with
sentient
that idea?
marbles. The marbles used in Jelly's marble runs are not sentient.
But it was very important to me that she be cut exactly when I had her made, before I made her sentient, that she'd be cut from the same block of material, whatever they used to create those little things, that Big Pearl was made out of.
Okay, so she thinks that her mom is like this famous marble.
Her mom is a famous marble.
But all of the marble stories and the life experience of the marble is made up by some autistic Finland guy.
Whoa. Stop right there, Big Red.
Jelly?
I think it is Big Pearl, not Jelly.
Oh, it's me, Jelly.
Oh! School, fuck you, Carissa! It was Jelly!
I'm not autistic.
You're a life-size marble!
Whoa.
This is a marble! Giant human!
He's kind of like the Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah, I think that pretty accurately describes what I'm seeing.
See you later.
Well, that really explains it. That really explains it, I'll tell you.
He doesn't like social interaction that much. I've met him a couple times. You know, I'm a big fan of the races, and I sponsor some of them too. We did DJing for one of them. He doesn't like looking you in the eye. He doesn't like shaking your hand. All he wants to do is make the dirt races and the dirt tracks and put them down and make these little contraptions for him to fall into.
So he's a little autistic then.
Very autistic.
Well, I mean, do you want to support something autistic, or do you want to support something dead? Because, I mean, that DG guy, I mean, I don't know.
I have nothing against Dairy Goat. I always think he was a cutie.
Cutie?
What about him? You can't tell me he wasn't handsome. Did
You
you?
knew him when you were married to me.
So?
Now he's cutie?
You got boners looking at all sorts of
I'm
things.
done.
Not even women.
I'm done.
I've seen your fucking length, your height grow. Seeing a man once. Did we ever talk about that? You admitted to me at one point that you wanted to have sex with your own brother.
This isn't... No.
You told me you used to experiment with each other and you tried to do it when you were 18 and he said no, he's not gay.
And then I turned into a giant penis, so I fucked him anyway. I lock... Hang on, what are we voting for?
I don't know.
I think we should vote for Dairy Guy as a sign of respect.
That Dairy Guy, I never met him. Did I ever meet Dairy Guy?
He died on Goat Island before we made it public.
He was also a disgrace
Yeah?
before we died, and I think we kind of remember him. He drunk drove, didn't he? I saw it on the news.
Yep.
He drunk drove and killed his friend.
There were a lot of layers to the story, but that pretty much suffices.
You know, that's fine, though. I think I'll vote for drunk driver.
Okay.
Drunk guy? That's what his name stands for?
Dairy Guy DG from episode 100 and...
I don't know.
100 and...
Well, but you get the point. He was a character on MOATAIF and the DG stands for Dairy Guy. The MOATAIF stands for morbidly obese and the AIDS-infested faggot.
I lock in this vote.
I lock in my vote.
I lock in my boat. I'm doing it first.
I lock in this vote, bitch. If I'm the main filler, I should be the one to say it. First or last.
Who fucking died and made you penis of this table? Beast, show him what you can do.
I'm not going to show him anything because he would rape me. Even though I think we're about the same height.
Fuck ChatGPT. Oh my god, I'm fucking gonna come so fucking hard. Generating all these... What? Marble, it's not what it looks like. It was just because he wanted to see the picture. And I came in here and you're jerking off for Charlie XTGPXTX. Marble, it's not what it looks like. I'm gonna kill myself. Marble. I'm gonna kill myself because of ChatGPT.
Where's Marble going?
Marble is just making it generate pictures of you naked. I'm going to jump off into the abyss. I'm going to the cliff of no return and I'm going to jump off into the abyss, Brandon. Jeremy, whatever the fuck your name is. What's happening right now? I'm so confused. Someone stop her.
Oh, hang on, they're voting for best quote.
Oh, okay.
Again with the fucking marble. I don't even... It's just what she says when she rolls around. It's not even a quote.
I think I should get the trophy if it wins.
Because you created her? Whoa. If
No,
you...
I am her creator, yeah.
Well, I don't want you to take home a trophy, so can we just take that off the block?
Really? That's how
You
we're gonna be?
agree?
We're gonna be spiteful?
I
Really?
agree, because it is not a quote. It is an ambient noise.
That's true. Never even thought of that.
Well, at that point, the only other option is sign. My mom stapled my hole shut. But, you know, I can't relate to it because I don't have a hole, but I do like Beverly.
You have a hole, you have a urethra. You like to do that sounding thing sometimes.
Yeah, I did have my Sabian pierced. What's it? Prince Eric?
Prince Andrew? What is it?
Prince,
Charles?
the artist formerly known as Prince?
I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I used to have my artist formerly known as Prince pierced. Sent my piss and cum come in two different ways, though.
I'm all on board and voting for the whatever one gets me off this stage as quick as I can.
The only other option is signed. My mom stapled my hole shut by our matriarch Beverly Hillbillies, not related to TV show. Do we lock in this vote?
I lock in this vote. Listen, you guys like the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Give it away now.
No, I'm thinking of that one where it's like, hey, oh, listen what I say, oh.
That's a good one. Nancy, can we have that play us out tonight instead of the election music?
I don't see why not. Did I max out the audio?
No, you're good, Nancy. If you just want to close out the election part of the show, you know.
You didn't lock in your vote.
I locked in this vote.
I locked in this vote.
My vote is also locked in.
That's it, everybody. All your votes are locked in. You will be able to see the Azuis live. So tune in, and we'll hear your reactions then. It's the 700th video! But the Azuis are happening there. Well, yeah. Big Red, do you have a problem with me? No! I will stomp you. Stomp me? Of course I will, you fucking bit my ass, beast! You're not gonna rape my ass.
I always knew he was gay.
Why do they always end with rape? Why is there always so much rape on the news? Rape this, rape that, I got to watch rape.
I just feel like there's a lot of rape in general. It's kind of insane how, I mean, even Brandon and his chat logs that from chat TTT Charlie XCXCC, even he was talking about raping it.
Right, and I mean, ultimately, a computer / AI can't consent, so even then, he was raping it.
Guys, you know I'm right here. Is Marple gonna be okay?
Where did she go?
I don't know. I stopped paying attention to her when the election shit came on. I just knew she was trying to kill herself or something.
Tried to kill herself? Don't tell me she went to the cliff of no return to jump into the abyss?
I think that might be what she said she was gonna do. I'm gonna kill myself! I'm gonna throw myself off this cliff! I'm driving a car! I'm gonna throw myself off this cliff! Little fly? Now hang on now! We're falling down the cliff and this fly not getting stuck to the wall! I don't get it! Whoa!
Whoa, it's okay. I made a glass and marble. It's okay.
Hello and welcome to MOATAIF, folks.
Another one.
We're back. Another one. Another one indeed. DJ Khaled, you just don't hear much about him anymore. Khaled?
Khaled, I think.
DJ Khaled?
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
He's like supremely autistic, I think.
I love
Have you ever seen those videos of him like just doing any like random thing?
I've seen the one that came to mind immediately is the one where he's like at a restaurant maybe, and somebody brings up a tray of drinks and snacks and foods, and he's like, and what is this one? And they're like, that's bananas. And what is this one? And that's Fiji water. And what's this one?
Yeah.
That's a Gatorade. And what's this one? That is chips.
And then he'll turn to the camera and just be like, nice. Or just say something totally like off the wall. It's just like, what is wrong with that guy?
I've never known. I've never even known really. I mean, I know he's like something involved with music, but I've always just thought he's a meme.
Yeah, he's a pretty successful producer.
Good for him. Good for him.
I mean, we know just by how many times we hear his tag on the radio. Like
Another one. It's true.
Famous. He made it famous.
It's true. It's
He's
true.
dropping another hit.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I can't think of one.
I can't either.
Yeah.
DJ Snake.
I'm a snake.
I don't know. I just knew DJ Snake. DJ Snake is the guy. I think DJ Snake and DJ Khaled worked together on that. Turn down for what? I think.
Turn down for what?
That was horrible.
It's really terrible. And did you see where Little John came and performed it at the DNC? And
No.
when they announced like whatever, I think it was Georgia. If that's where he's from, I don't know.
That's random.
And when they announced like when Georgia's delegates were gonna vote for Kamala Harris, they in the state of Georgia, and the cameras pan over there, and it's like, what minute? Turn down for what? He comes running down the stairs. He performs his little song. Turn down for what? And then they're like, we, the great state of Georgia, cast all 18 of our delegates to the next president, Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's unnecessary.
Yeah. It was cringe, but of course everybody was like, then of course they'd take a photo of a comparison of that and compare it to like the RNC where it was all devoid of life and full of hate. But it's like, I mean,
Well, I heard Snoop Dogg performed for Trump.
yeah,
He
he
won.
did, he did
He got
indeed.
inaugurated or something. His
Yeah.
party.
And everybody was all mad about it because in like 2015 or whatever, Snoop Dogg made a video where he was like, and the first one of these motherfuckers, but he used the N-word, and the first one of these motherfuckers who put on a Trump hat, they've sold their soul. And like he was one of the first ones. I mean, beyond like Kanye, of course, but it was when Kanye started being sort of vocally a Trump supporter that Snoop Dogg was like, anytime you see one of these motherfuckers wearing a Trump hat, know they sold their soul. And then he did it. But I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
It's just a weird reality where Snoop Dogg is on Trump's side.
Yeah. And, of course, I feel like even he would say, if you asked him, it's less that he was on his side and more just, well, the president asked me to perform.
Oh, you're right. Probably.
But still, you kind of have, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't really care about Snoop Dogg.
Gin and juice.
Yeah, that's the only Snoop Dogg song I really know.
MOATAIF honors, gin and juice.
Can't listen to it anymore.
No, you can listen to it.
Okay.
You can still listen
We
to
have
it.
somebody to honor, but I forget. Somebody died.
Jimmy Carter. Did we already honor President Carter?
I think we did.
I don't know if we honored Jimmy. Yeah, we did. We did last time. Cut it. Cut it. We're not honoring him again. I forgot.
Double honors only go to specific people.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, like, Jimmy, what a nice young man, but he doesn't need a double honor.
No, I mean,
we
maybe
did
if we
preempt.
grew up with him and he had more than one term.
Right. Yeah.
He gets one
honor per term.
Yeah, exactly.
I was talking to Royo the other day. I don't know. I had this random thought. I think it was because Jimmy Carter died, and then now President Biden, or President Trump was inaugurated, and it just got me thinking. I'm like, I wonder who the next president to die is. And then as I was looking at the list,
Definitely
I'm like,
George
it's
Bush Senior.
He's already dead.
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah, he did.
We didn't honor him.
No, well, no. But the only ones that we still have alive now are Clinton,
Yeah.
Bush Jr., Obama, Biden, and Trump.
Oh, it's definitely Biden.
And I was like, yeah, it'll definitely be Biden.
Yeah,
but
100%.
get this, Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, same age. Maybe by a few months off.
Really?
but
That's
yeah.
interesting. Wow, Bill Clinton must have been young.
Yeah. Well, and I was like, by looking at just the birth years of the presidents, if age is the only reason you die, then yeah, Joe Biden is the oldest and will probably
he's
be the next
falling
president
apart.
to die. Yeah.
But I also feel like they'd keep him on like ventilators and shit. Like
Right.
they really want him to just stay alive for some reason.
Just so he
Have you
can
seen
run
that
in
video of
28.
like Biden getting into a car and he touched the Secret Service agent's hand and like pet it?
Yeah.
Almost, and the guy's like, "What the fuck?" Like he's like pissed that
Yeah.
he got touched by him.
Well,
That's sad. I've never seen a Secret Service agent act like that.
I know. He was hated. He was reviled.
Biden.
Yeah, what can you do?
You see this shit about how he when he left, he tried to do this thing of banning cigarettes, pretty much.
Like he wanted a menthol ban.
No, it's like he wants to he signed this thing to reduce the amount of nicotine in a cigarette. I guess it's 17 milligrams now, but they want to reduce it to 1. So it's essentially a ban.
Yeah.
And the FDA approved it.
Nice.
So who knows if it's actually going to happen? It could just be propaganda. But I'm like,
I'm gonna
why
keep
the
smoking?
why the fuck would this guy do that? But in a way, it kind of makes it better for me as a smoking fetishist.
It makes it
You're
even more prohibited.
No. It makes it easier to sell people on it.
Oh, because there's less in
You're
it.
gonna get addicted. It's
Yeah.
1 fucking milligram.
Right.
It's fine.
At that point, you're just smoking tobacco.
Yeah, it's just listen, how much worse could it be than any other thing you smoke?
Right. That's true. That's true.
Easier to make the case. And there's a few people out there I'd really like to get them to do it.
Yeah.
A few people out there who currently do it who have not been cooperative in me trying to get them to do it.
Right.
Despite
Nice.
offers on the table.
You gotta love that.
At a Barton.
Yeah. Just drag her for filth.
Uh-huh.
I said drag her for filth.
Fuck it. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just kidding. I can't remember what I was gonna say, but it made me think of something. Oh, what did, and of course, I don't want to talk about politics, but we just happened to. As he was leaving office, you saw that he like pardoned every member of his family.
Yeah.
Now, this is where one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if this is where, I'm like, am I being libtarded? Not libtarded, but brainwashed, or, because I can see it from both sides. On the Republican side, they're like, well, you only do that if you've done something wrong. And you don't pardon somebody who hasn't done anything wrong. You know what I mean? You don't. A pardon means like, oh, hey, like you did do that, but like, I'm sorry, like you shouldn't be tried for that. And so on the Republican side, they're like, well, by even pardoning all of these people, that makes it seem like they did something illegal.
But obviously they did.
And then from Joe Biden's...
That's like so obvious to say, though.
Well, but then from Joe Biden's point of view, or at least the way they're spinning it...
It's just like, hey, you don't have any consequences.
The way they're spinning it, and because it was such a unilateral pardon for like every member of his family, the way they're spinning it...
How many members of his family are incarcerated?
None. And that's why it was so confusing. So he pardoned Hunter, and that was like big news, of course, because he's obviously been the subject of scrutiny for the last 4 years.
More than that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, especially through at least his whole presidential campaign and presidency, and definitely before that. But so he pardoned Hunter, and then
I didn't know you
after that, pardon
someone.
Yeah. After that, he pardoned his like brother, his sister-in-law, his uncle, his cousin, like every person. And so the way they're spinning this is that the idea is that now, because the Trump Donald Trump was very much like, I'm going to come after Joe Biden, I'm going to come after this is a way to ensure that he doesn't waste taxpayers' time and the time of the government to do these witch hunts, of which there would be nothing to find, but because he hates Joe Biden and wants
that is the most insane MSNBC libtard take I've ever heard.
Right.
What part of us thinks that man was altruistically pardoning his entire family?
Listen, I don't know.
What the fuck?
That's just how
I don't believe
that's
that
how
for
they're
a
spinning
minute.
it. That's how it's somewhat
That's
being
propaganda.
Spin. Yeah.
Is there any precedence for a president doing that?
No. Yeah,
What
not
the
yeah,
fuck?
not really.
That's weird.
Not really. Yeah. Yeah, not really. But he also, I
That's
mean, you familiar with Leonard Peltier or whatever his name is?
No.
He's been incarcerated for like 70 years or something retarded like that. Some Native American activist or whatever who's been incarcerated forever. The only reason I feel like I know about him is because Estelle Piper has like been trying to get him freed and pardoned by every president since I've known her.
Really?
Yeah.
Random.
Yeah, signing petitions, sharing like his
Change.org.
yeah, and like sharing videos about him and inspirational. Like she's really inspired by this man. And so when Joe Biden pardoned him, that was everybody was excited about that. Some people. But yeah, it was a strange thing, and Donald Trump, as he was on his first day in office, as he's signing like hundreds of executive orders immediately to the press, answering questions at the same time, they're like, what was I saying?
Joe Biden, it's Trump's reaction.
He's like, they were like, what is your reaction to the Biden pardons? And he's like, well, nobody told me. They did it while I was during my speech, which is true. Like in the middle of Trump's inauguration speech, like even then it pops up at the bottom of the screen, Biden pardons entire family. Yeah, right.
Fuck?
Yeah.
That's a really weird and bad precedent to set.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because of that. You're absolutely right, because now at the end of Donald Trump's term, he's just going to pardon his entire family, and they,
you get away with anything while this guy's in office.
But it's also true, though, that, in the last 4 years, we had such an ineffectual, whatever you want to call it, Department of Justice, that we didn't even put a felon behind bars and allowed him to be elected president.
But what did Trump actually do to deserve that felony? Because I was like looking into it, and it didn't seem like it was like that big of a deal. With like what they had on him wasn't like a huge deal.
It is true, but you have.
It's like all technical shit that like anybody, like everybody would have been guilty of.
It is
Biden,
true.
Obama,
you do have to say,
anybody.
you have to give the benefit of the doubt on that. But there are I do believe that a twice impeached president who started an insurrection should not have even been eligible
But
for
that's-
office.
Zach, that's still even kind of like disingenuous. Like, like he didn't do anything to help the insurrection, but he didn't actually start it.
Well, that's true, but he
That's
did
like his crazy
promote
QAnon
the,
like subcult like following.
It's true, but he did not, and still does, even in his inauguration
bad.
speech, bring up the fact that the election was stolen from him 4 years ago, and that
Obviously
creates
that's
the
bad.
entire illegitimate presidency of Joe Biden. And now, interestingly enough, they
did say that the entire 4 years
Right.
that he's not even the president.
and of course a lot of people were saying that about Donald Trump too, because any day Robert Mueller,
That's what I keep thinking, 'cause we were one of those people.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, we can't do. I can't do this.
No,
I can't be that person, and then also condemn other people for being that person.
Right.
'Cause we really truly believe that
it's true.
he colluded with Russia.
It's true.
And that's so cringe of me now, even looking.
Oh, I know.
We believed it with every
And
fiber of our being.
They're believing it still to this day, and then there are some things that, like he and Elon Musk have said, that are circumspect, in or out of context. Saying like that. Even Joe Rogan was like, Elon Musk had an app that told me the results of the election 4 hours before everybody else
I heard
knew.
about that, around the time.
And he, there were some states that had
But why
connected
People
their.
are really like drawing conspiracies about that. Why is it so far out of the realm of possibility that Elon Musk has a 538 type app that just predicted it?
Well, it's true. I mean, it's true. It could have been some sort of prediction, but there were some states that, and this sort of created a lot of conspiracy theories as well, is that the reports are supposed to be done in without the use of the internet. So it's supposed to be over the phone or taken in person to the the state level, where they then run those results and report them to the state, out to the media and to the to the numbers that way. And a lot of
I never got
states-
the impression, based on what Joe Rogan said, because I listened to the podcast where that was mentioned, and then it turned into news. I'm like, what the fuck is the big deal? I
Yeah.
never got the impression that what Elon Musk did was anything other than like having a prediction thing where he's like, oh, he most likely won, so I don't have to waste my time.
It's
doing
true,
this.
but some states were using Starlink satellites to upload their election data.
Oh, really?
And so that was a little, that is a little, it would
guess
not necessarily even, I would just say unprecedented.
You could potentially
Not even
capture the
necessarily
traffic.
illegal, but yeah,
Yeah, because like ISPs have access to your.
yeah.
to your
But they
traffic
like
if
to-
it's not on a VPN, but I don't think the government would upload that shit without a VPN.
Who knows? They love
did, that's
making
really
conspiracies out of everything.
They did. It's all propaganda, brother. I can't follow it at all.
No, and I don't want to.
I can't get
I don't
worked
want
up
to either.
Maybe I'll say this. I'll follow it loosely, but I can't get worked up about it.
It is kind of one of those things, like you just have to wait and see what happens. They did introduce, one House Republican has already introduced legislation to amend the 22nd Amendment, which would allow Donald Trump to have a third term in office.
What? That's wild.
Yes, but so the way they
What is
wrote
about,
it,
like consecutive terms or whatever.
yeah, the way they wrote it would preclude Barack Obama from being elected to a third term, but allow Donald Trump to be elected for a third term. Now, obviously, there's no reason to assume that would pass. But if it did, the way that it's written is that you can be elected. They have it's
would
worded
that kind of
so
thing
weird.
have to
but,
go through the Supreme Court
well,
for the Constitution? That's how you have to.
it would also have to be ratified by
Is it all three branches of government have to agree to an amendment?
well, and I think
I don't know
it's
how that
also
works.
ratified by a third of this, or two-thirds of the states have to ratify it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think that would ever happen.
I don't think it would happen, but I mean, there's sort of the infrastructure in place. The Supreme Court has been packed by the right wing. He's got like a majority. It's like what, 6-3 Republican right now, and then you've got all three branches of government and a lot of the state houses and the governorships. So it's not out of the question, but it would take a lot to happen. However, the way it's written is if you're elected to one term and then don't get elected to a second term, you can run for a second term. And then after that second term, so where Donald Trump is right now, then you can be elected to a second
Also,
term.
because Barack Obama ran for a second term and won. Then
Yes.
you can't do it.
Yep. So if you lose the second term and your first term, then it essentially resets the slate, and you can run again for your second term in your second term, if that makes
That's
sense.
interesting.
So it would preclude Barack Obama, but it does leave the door open for Joe Biden if he was alive. Like, just go with me. If he was still alive, it has the opportunity that then Joe Biden could be elected in 2028 and be eligible for re-election in 2032, assuming that he's still alive.
He could.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What the fuck?
But not Barack Obama, which I love that. That's so fucking...
What the fuck is that? Like, if that shit happens, I don't know, I'm leaving. I guess, because you look at, like, everybody says, like, oh, I'm moving to Canada, I'm doing all this shit. And then you look into, like, what it actually takes to move there, and it's like, you gotta have to be pretty privileged to, like, get there to begin with. You have to, like, offer that country something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm a fucking software engineer. I got a college degree. I got money in the bank. Like, I can move to Canada.
Right. And imagine when you do, then all of a sudden Donald Trump invades and makes Canada the 51st state.
Canada probably wouldn't be my first. I'd probably like move to like England.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. I think England sounds like, if I'm really gonna move, like England, Scotland, those sound like fun places to go.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine over there.
London probably seems like the best because, like, I mean, London is sort of like a New York-esque city, you know,
cool. And it has
very
a lot of rich
advanced
history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course it has, you know, the West End. So I mean, there's like Broadway style theater. You know,
yeah. London seems cool.
London's good. Yeah, well, moving to London. I'd rather live under King Charles, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I do if it came down to it.
It's
of
one of
course,
those...
if there's a world war, I would go wherever I think, like, I don't know, maybe like Chile.
Yeah.
Who the fuck gives a fuck about them? They're not going to get, like, nuked.
You're right, but it's also, that is close to Panama, where we're also potentially going to war over the Panama Canal.
You're right.
So it's like,
what's safe here? Jamaica?
Maybe. Kind of small, though.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Fit in, like...
But it's also close enough to the U.S. that colonialism, if we're expanding, we just took over Canada. We now have a state in Panama.
What's safe? God, this is a good question then. What's safe? Can't go to India because Pakistan.
Right. Can't really go to Europe in general because of the whole Russia-Ukraine situation. That could spill over into any of that.
Eastern Europe's no-go. Asia is kind of like, who wants to live there?
Japan. It's just so culturally different. I mean,
culturally. I mean, I would love to live there if they would
beautiful.
if they accepted me.
Yeah.
But like in Japan, like you can never become a citizen.
Yeah.
There's literally none of your kids could or anything. You're always considered an outsider.
That's true.
So it's like long term, maybe like, hear me out. Indonesia, Cambodia.
Yeah.
Because I'm just trying to think of places that
Vietnam.
you'd forget about. Not Vietnam.
I am Laotian.
Laos.
Yeah, go to Laos.
Definitely not Taiwan, because China's going to get it.
Right.
I'm thinking in terms of like World War III breaks out, who's going to war?
Australia.
That's interesting.
Never really hear much about Australia.
Right, that would probably be...
Yeah. Australia is...
probably third from London.
Australia / New Zealand.
Sydney's got that big fucking opera house.
Yeah. It would be weird to... It would really suck to, like, experience an American winter, right? And then you're like, okay, fuck it. Donald Trump just invaded Canada. I'm flying to Australia. And then you fly there at the time right into their winter. So you just have year-round winter.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to move there. Like, you'd have to move there at the end of winter so you get there... When do you move? You move there at the start of winter so that you get there on their summer.
Yep. You
just have 2 summers right in a row.
Because that's all way better than 2 winters.
But even then, we could go a step further. You could just go to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Nobody's fighting New Zealand. They're tiny. They don't.
New Zealand's pretty peaceful. New Zealand seems peaceful.
Yeah, they're peaceful. The only thing that they got going on is like they historically oppressed like the indigenous people there and.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Female president, if I remember correctly.
I think Australia does too.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a couple options. I think,
I think it'd be cool to live in London. I think it'd be cool to have a king.
It would, yeah. It is. Especially because, like, for all of our life, there just was a queen.
Right.
It's, like, cool that, I mean, like, I think, obviously, and I mean, I do think a queen is cooler than a king, but we just lived under a queen for so long that it's different. But at this point,
there know that there's a prominent king in the world right now.
And there will probably never be another queen of England.
In our life, for sure.
Certainly not in our life. Because what next is Prince?
I can't keep track of all those people.
William? I think so.
Is that the pedophile? That's Andrew.
No, that's Andrew, yeah. Prince, and what's his name? Mark? There's no Prince Mark. Prince Harry.
I don't
Prince
know.
Harry.
You could have said there was a Prince Mark.
Prince Harry.
Because it could have been like he's the Duke of Wales, and I would not have known.
Exactly. I mean, there probably is a fucking Prince Mark, but
Yeah.
Prince Harry is the one that married the American, and then they
I've
stepped
been
out
hearing
of the
a bit
life.
about
So I
that.
think it's Prince William.
They live in like L.A. now. I
Yeah.
think they do like that Netflix show.
Cringe is sin.
I haven't seen any
Cringe.
of it.
I mean, of course, I just think their whole persona, the way they are in the tabloids, is cringe. And they did them on South Park where they were like, of course they're portrayed as Canadian for some reason, even though they're British,
they're just
but they have them
foreigners.
like they have like their heads flapping in the wind, and they're like, we just want to be left alone. Why won't anyone leave us alone? But they're like on the Today Show, like writing a memoir. Please leave us alone. We just want to be left alone. But he's like on TikTok, just like crying about it. But yeah, I don't know. Rest in peace, Queen. Princess Diana. That would have been a cool transition.
Yeah, MOATAIF honors Princess Diana for sure.
Yeah.
She might have already been honored before.
I don't think so. But even if
We've talked about her for.
even if she wasn't, yeah, that's true. Even if she wasn't honored, or even if she was honored already, like, I mean, she's the people's princess. So I mean, we'll honor her every episode if we have to.
Royal wedding, brother. Who could forget?
Right. I mean,
That
come
happened when
on.
we were kids.
Princess Diana?
Yeah.
No. I don't. I mean,
Was that
she
before our-
died.
was
She
that
died
before
when
our
we were
time?
kids. Yeah, I think that royal wedding would have been in like the 80s.
I was gonna say I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I remember when she died. Do I? No,
Maybe.
I don't remember that.
Probably not.
When did she die?
90s. But when exactly? I don't know.
I
This
remember
is-
it being a
we're
thing
bad.
when I was a kid because people were still talking about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, people still are. They're making movies about her still today. Diana, the Princess of Wales, died August 31st, 1997.
Yeah, we were 2 years old.
Right. And her marriage was 1981. So yeah, but we were alive for Prince William's royal wedding to Kate Middleton.
Was that like the mid to late 2000s?
Yeah.
Okay, I
And then the
remember
royal
that.
birth when they had their first kid, and then
Why
they
is
had
it
their
such a big
second
deal?
kid. I don't know. To me, it's kind of reminds me somewhat like I really like the history of it, similar to like the Pope. I just enjoy like
I think it's cool, but
I think it's like it's just interesting like the history of these institutions, and I think that's part of the reason why people like the royal family is it's because it's like, oh, that's a new, even though it doesn't mean anything, it's just like, oh, that's a new member of this family we've known for 70 years, 80 years, the last 200 years.
fuck longer than that. The royal family's been going on a long, long time.
Absolutely.
It's just weird because you don't hear about that. Like, you don't hear about, like, the new shogun has been born. Like, for Japan. Like, I couldn't imagine going to Japan and caring about that kind of thing.
Right. It is strange. It's certain, who knows what, I don't know. But it's, we kind of have it with our presidential race, with,
Yeah, but, like,
it's sort of made
be
made
like-
into a circus.
but it'd be like fucking Sasha and Malia fucking having a baby and it just being like, whoa. Like, the whole
Well, yeah.
world watches.
That's true. That's true. It would be something that would go viral, but it wouldn't necessarily be something that we wouldn't have it on every channel streaming all day long.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
It is weird. It almost makes it seem like they're requesting that sort of.
It's
pomp
weird
and
too. It's like when
circumstance.
just those like zeitgeist things that happen. Like, you remember like a year or two ago when like there was like the World Cup soccer thing.
Mhm.
Do you hear about it at all? Like Argentina and like somebody else. It was just a big deal. I think Spain.
I mean, doesn't it happen every year? The World Cup.
It does, but this one specific year I'm remembering. Suddenly everybody watched and knew about soccer.
Ah.
It's weird to me when that kind of thing happens. Like,
Yeah.
what do you don't watch this?
Yeah, and all of a sudden everybody's like Pele.
I see. I don't even.
Exactly. Like I'm just
But
throwing.
how
out
do
a
they
name.
know what all that
Right.
shit is?
Mm-hmm.
In the same vein, I'm weird. This whole episode is just like mind dump. In the same vein, I'm sure you worked with these kind of people. You mainly find them in warehouse settings, but they're dumb as a box of rocks. But somehow they know unbelievable amounts of sports statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're just so knowledgeable about football. But then in my mind, I'm like, I can't possibly think you actually know what you're talking about here.
Right, they're
You know what I'm
just
talking
saying
about? Like,
things.
because I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're like, did you see Rothschild? He has 4 fucking MVPs. I can't even make it up.
Right.
You know what I'm? Have you hung around those kind of guys
Oh,
at the
yeah.
warehouse?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, you were fucking retarded, dude. And you're like sitting here like trying to talk about math for this like game and how like the statistics of how many throws this guy had, and he has 800 yards just in the last 2 weeks, which means that this next one, I don't get it.
Right, but at the same time, like, he doesn't bathe.
Right.
Right.
I don't know. It's
He's
just
like, he's got more RBI than the other guy.
I have a really hard time sometimes like comprehending other people's levels of intelligence.
It's hard sometimes. It is.
Because most people, I assume, are pretty damn low, and they surprise me sometimes. 'Cause
Mhm.
I can't believe that you would know that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's my own ego. Like, just assuming everybody's a fucking idiot. And
It's just out of experience of dealing with people for so long. It's kind of like when you get to the point where you're like, I know no matter what sign I put up, nobody at Pretzel Maker is going to read it anyway.
exactly,
You know.
yeah. You're just like, these people are morons.
Right.
Man, dude, Bree sent us this message in the Facebook group chat like a week or two ago. She's like, all I saw was like, work one last shift with y'all. I'm like, is she inviting us to work one last shift at Pretzel Maker or something? Like, did she somehow manage
Right.
to do this for like the Mansfield location and like work this out with Gina? Because I'm sure she
Fuck.
like still knows her. I was so excited, dude, and devastated when I read it. It was just her reminiscing. We should take a road trip soon and get some pretzel bits.
It would be fun. Go up to Mansfield if it's still there.
I just want some, honest to God, dude, just some pretzel bits from anywhere sounds amazing. I'd even settle for Annie Ann's.
Right.
Dude, some cream cheese.
They are good. The
last time
hot
we had
sour
one?
cream.
Yeah, the hot sour cream.
I haven't had Buppies in a long time.
Fucking puppy. I was like telling somebody about that. I think it was Abigail and somebody else, like, about how dumb the people at the mall were. Because out of every job I've ever worked, the people at the mall were some of the dumbest.
Absolutely.
By a lot.
Mm-hmm. By far.
And it was just bitching about the weird things that they would call pretzel bites. Because for some reason, does it still annoy you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I feel like I should let it go by this point, but they're not fucking buppies. They're not bits. They're not
we just
bitties.
we turned it into a whole ass game where like they would just say something and we'd be like, oh yeah, one order of the globes.
Pretzel globes. I forgot about the globes.
Like most of the time nobody even called them that. Like that was just what I mean, sticks was a common one,
Yep.
you know.
Cup.
Right, pretzel cup.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I mean it was never
This was
really
the most common.
Yeah.
But that I was less angry about that when I found out that Annie Ann's calls them bits.
Ah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
They're just used to that.
And like it is bits of pretzel, but I mean, come on.
That's a bite. It says
Right.
it on the sign.
It's not that hard.
I will never.
They didn't even read the sign.
I've probably talked about this on MOATAIF before, but I don't care because probably 10 years ago when we were
Right.
working there. I will never forget the guy that fucking came up to the counter and was just staring at the sign for like 5 minutes, like, literally like this, mouth agape, like, and I'm just sitting there so annoyed trying to take his order. Whoever's rolling with me is just in the back doing their own thing, so I'm all here alone, all alone with this customer, and he goes, I don't even know what that is. And I'm like, the pretzels? And he's just like, I don't know. And just walked away. And it was just, to me, it was just like, yep, that's about right. For the customers here. Like,
I think I wasn't even there that day, but I always think of I want nacho.
you weren't there for that?
No, I think it was
Who
you
was?
and Hannah.
Really?
Yeah. I want nacho.
Ooh, the cringe Karate Kid. Oh.
But that's a famous line to me. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
I want nacho.
I want nacho.
Ooh, it was so cringe.
I think about all the time, too, that absolute fucking MILF who worked at Bath & Body Works. I wanted to fuck her so bad. And looking back on it, she probably wasn't a MILF.
No, I mean she certainly was a mom. But yeah, I don't think I didn't
Wholesome
want to
looking lady,
Ilfer.
but I just wanted to bend her over, and I had lustful thoughts towards that one.
And it was cool. It always, after we started giving free food away to everybody and anybody who asked, it really gave us, it gave us
We were
like
popular
clout with those people.
Yeah, it did. We were popular around there. I think that's probably how we got away with fucking bouncing bouncy balls all around.
We're like, we give away hundreds of dollars of food to y'all, so just look the other way. Speaking of butt buzzers, I had in my notes, what do you think is the best chocolate bar to shove up your ass?
Oh, that's.
Because it came up with some. I had some things that obviously
initially Snickers.
Yeah, like something like that, similar
Nice
shape.
and phallic.
Yeah, because immediately I think must have been somebody talking about a Toblerone or something, but I was like, that would not feel good up your ass.
Nutty.
You know. Well, not even that, but it's just angular. It's triangles.
You're right. It's sharp.
And it's similar to anal beads though, because it's multiple pieces that would like open and close you, but it's so pointy.
Yeah, you're right. It would pop.
Yeah, it would I can't even imagine how bad it would hurt.
I watched somebody put in like a pointy carrot in their pussy the other day, and they didn't care at all. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean if the point is going the problem with the Toblerone is that if you're holding the candy bar and you're going to put it in your ass, the triangles are sideways.
Oh yeah, it's poking right into you.
Yeah, because like with a pointy triangle, that's
you only
just
have
going
to
up
do
inside.
that a little bit. I mean, it's obviously not the best, but you only have to do that. Any chocolate bar you're shoving up there, your body's so hot it would melt it pretty quick.
That's true.
So
at least with the Toblerone, they could like break it in half. There's like a bunch of different places where you could like break it apart, put that up your ass. It would hurt.
Like, is the goal to get the whole thing in your ass?
No, I think it's just to be able to come.
Oh, to come?
You know.
Sure. I'm thinking of just
come.
I'm thinking of just like how can we like minimize the amount of like suck this is.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're I'm thinking
Snickers
of it
is hard. Like you get one that's kind of like past its prime.
That's
Those are
true.
Hard.
Well, what do you think about because like it's similar shape to Snickers, but what do you think about like a Three Musketeer? Because that's a little smoother.
Too soft.
Too soft? You
I
think?
your
Oh
ass
yeah,
would crush it.
it could. Your ass would take a little bite out of it. You're right.
Because the Three Musketeers is kind of like creamy, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I can't think
Probably
of,
the same for like Milky Way then too. Maybe Twix. Twix has that hard cookie in there.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're right.
And it's a little narrow because I mean they put 2 in there, so they're kind of narrow, but you can put both in.
They would break for sure.
You think?
When's the last time you had one?
The last time I had one, it was like the mini ones, so they're hard to compare.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty fragile.
Yeah. How strong do you really think your ass is, though? Like
Pretty fucking strong.
You think it would really bite through? Like, I mean, I hate the term bite, but I mean that's all I can think. You really think it would like bite it?
Well, are we lubing our ass on the way in?
I guess
It's
like
the entry for me, because like when like I push my penis up against a butthole, it's hard to get my penis in there. I push anything against my butthole, it's hard to get it in initially. So I'm thinking like when you're pressing that initial force.
That's true.
If you're already training your ass a little bit and it's already kind of loose, you probably wouldn't have a problem. You could put them in like Sharpies.
Yeah. Maybe you get like to the point where you take like one Sharpie at the bottom of your hole, one Sharpie at the top of your hole, and you kind of open your hole.
And then you
put Then
But
you
if you already have Sharpies, if the goal is to come,
just use the Sharpie. Yeah. If you do have the Sharpie. So I guess this is a scenario where you don't have Sharpies, you only have candy bars, and you want to come. Which one do you dildo yourself with?
You want to come with anal.
Yeah, which one do you dildo yourself with?
That's really interesting.
I think
What are other chocolate bars?
Well, it can't be like Hershey bar because that's too flat.
Too flat, too square, too thin, too sharp.
Yeah. Toblerone too angular and sharp. But I do like I would say if it was a little different, I think like a Toblerone anal bead kind of chocolate bar experience.
If there was a more circular Toblerone, for sure.
Yeah.
Like maybe it melted in the car.
Yeah.
A little bit, and then you put it back in the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of smash down those triangles a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there's nothing to say you can't manipulate the bar to come.
That's true. That's true.
Then again, I still think a Snickers bar is the best because a Snickers has like the little veins in it already.
That's true. Kind of feels like a girthy penis.
It does. Yeah,
That's right.
does. If the nuts aren't protruding too much, then it's just like that's just the feeling of a nice veiny cock.
Yeah. That's true.
Hard as a rock.
Yeah, it is. And I do think of all the candy bar, it's hard for me to imagine that my ass is going to take a bite out of any of them, but
your ass would definitely take a bite out of a Twix.
I think that I definitely think for sure with a Three Musketeers.
We might have to go buy one.
Might have to buy one and put it up my ass to see if it takes a bite out of
I
it.
think it would, like, because you ever have like a really hard piece of shit? You gotta like pinch it off.
Never as hard as a Twix. I don't think.
I have. Well, I've had periods where you just haven't been drinking enough water.
That's
my
true.
shit's firm.
I mean, I've had hard shits, but I still feel like if I were to like sort through the bowl and, compare them texturally to a Twix bar and my hardest feces, I think it would still be softer than the Twix bar. Because it's like paste. Even when it's like Play-Doh and really compacted together, I still feel
You're
like
right. It's not like a cracker.
yeah, like I feel like my hardest poop, if I like squeezed it, it would come apart in my hands. But my hardest Twix, I'd have to like really break it.
But it's the entry I still think that's getting me.
Yeah.
Like, how are you getting it in there?
But a Twix is a little bit more round.
It is. Yeah, it is. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to put. I would like because I'm immediately thinking, I'm like, I could just try it. I don't want chocolate in my ass.
Right.
That's the thing. Is that
you could put like a condom on it, I guess.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Makes it so much better. It's sort of inspired by this man that I found on Twitter and then OnlyFans. I've been following him for a while, but off and on. But the reason I started, he makes food videos, but not that into food. I think I might have talked about him in the past. Like, I really don't care about people that have sex with food. I think,
but you're always into it.
Well, I think what turns me on about it, is the sense of like, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, it's like
you know what I mean. I don't really like. I'm not like, oh yeah, fuck that McChicken. But that guy, when he fucked that McChicken all those years ago, whoever that was, when it went viral, that was hot. I'm like, he was so horny, he just fucked this McChicken. Whether it felt good or not, it's more so I'm just watching this boy my age masturbate and come. And there just happens to be a McChicken involved. So this guy, his name's John Kilo. And I think I've mentioned him before when we've talked about OnlyFans.
Yeah, you've definitely talked about this man.
But he fills up fleshlights with food and then fucks them. Or sometimes the other day he posted something where he's like, how many bagels can I hang on my cock? And he never comes in these videos. If you want to watch him come, you got to watch his actual porn shoots. But these are more so just casual.
Sitting there with a hard cock putting bagels on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then really
how many fit?
6.
What?
Yeah, and he was like
humongous.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Not too humongous. He's like, I really have to push on him. He's like 5 if I'm not pushing, 6 if I push, squish him down. And then he's like, he couldn't hold on. He had to hold on to the bagels. He's like, if I wanted to hold, let my penis actually hold up the bagels without holding on to him, it was 4.
Okay.
But with 5, it actually fit. 6 is I have to smush him a little bit. But 5 didn't cover his head all the way. You know what I mean? It was one of the, but he's talking to the camera. It's very a YouTube vlog. But then also he's naked and fucking food. There's something casually sexy about it. I don't think I've ever came to these videos, but they turn me on just because he's so he's just standing there fucking a flashlight. He's like, yeah, and then I put my dick in and it feels pretty good, a little hot. I don't know the pasta
warm
sauces,
Oh.
I don't know, cavatappi doesn't feel as good as tortellini, it's just something like that. I think it's just the casualness of it that's what turns me on about it.
Fair
and then I have to go watch him actually have sex with somebody to come.
I saw one the other day on Pornhub. There's they're doing podcasts on Pornhub now, but the podcast turns into fucking. So they start off having a normal podcast, and they're just you just want to fuck right now. It's weird.
It's every episode of MOATAIF.
Yeah, it's the improv, yeah, for sure. And I was like, that's hot. I watch podcasts all the time, and here they are.
Yeah.
Fucking on theirs.
Is the start of the podcast genuinely just a normal podcast? Yeah. So it could have been just any conversation we just had, and then it's we could have sex right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not because when I first thought of it, I'd be like, hey, what's going on, you guys? So we're going to review the new Trixie Mattel porn video. As you can see, she's got...
I don't remember. I'll pull it up right here. It would not be hard to find because it had 3 million views. It was on the front page is how I saw it. but we'll watch a little bit of it and then we'll see. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
And if the mics turn off, you know what we had to do.
We're leaving it rolling. Surprise podcast threesome.
Surprise podcast threesome.
Tap, you will come.
Sister Carissa.
Sign up. Tap here.
If you tap, you will come.
You should edit it. So that it's Sister Carissa's voice that says it.
If you tap, you will come.
Okay, it's called the Pillow Talk Podcast.
I'm your host, Ryan Pownell. We're co-hosted today, back on the show, I think 4th or 5th time.
What's hot is like they know they're about to fuck her.
Kazumi.
They brought her here to
Last
fuck.
episode, 2 episodes ago, with Riley Reid, they said, what would be your porn name, Ryan? And I said, your real name.
No.
But we're going to cut it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about porn, I guess.
Okay.
Really lame.
No, I said it's the best name.
I think it's a good porn name.
And then he's just gonna take out his cock at some point and start getting sucked and fucked. Oh,
Exactly. It starts with the girl.
she's showing off her pussy.
This is like Howard Stern at this point.
Right.
Like the viewers have to hear this.
I prefer you to just check her out.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, she's good at this. She's a
Eating her pussy. And she's commenting on it as it's happening.
Look at her
Yeah.
ass. Are you watching her ass while she does this? Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that ass. If you suck a cock the way that you eat pussy, that cock is in good shape.
You heard it here on
Crazy.
You heard it here, and that's 10 minutes in, brother. And then
Do we get full penetration?
oh yeah.
Oh.
Never had a threesome like this.
This is insane.
I know. Like, what world are we?
It's almost as insane as that
Never. I know, like,
one you sent me the other day of those people getting caught cheating.
Say what?
That one you sent me the other day of that couple getting caught cheating and
So
they do,
over
like,
the
a
top,
big
the man
mama
walks
scene.
in. Yeah, the man walks in his suit. He's like, "What are you doing?"
The guy like throws himself onto the bed and gets over there to put his clothes on. It's so cringe.
Oh my god! But that podcast thing was wild.
Yeah, that's pretty hot. I could see how
Kind
that
of the
was, you know.
future.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of the future of porn. If
Yeah.
you will. Very, very futuristic, cutting edge.
Just
if you
it's
will.
like modern internet content, but porn.
It's true. With just a little bit of sex in it. And it's cool. It's true because like even when I listen to like Smosh Reed's Reddit stories, I'm like, those two are married. Like, what if they just started fucking right now is what I'm going to think now, you know? I'm going to be like, all right, take out your penis, Shane, and, you know, bounce on it. Courtney? I don't know what their
Number one
names are.
fan, number one podcast. I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, Shane's the one that's always on the episode. His wife is one of the random ones that,
They
you know,
occasionally
comes through.
fuck.
Never on the show.
I don't know where my mind's going.
Never on the show, but certainly
You have
in
to
real
assume
life.
that they're fucking.
Yeah, I mean, if they're married, yeah, they're definitely fucking, you know. So
they could be asexual.
they could.
They have kids.
No. In fact, I think his partner might use they, them. She, they.
I shouldn't say that.
I don't know.
I'm just saying that because I want them to fuck.
But folks, all you got to do is get a chocolate bar, put it in a condom, tell us if your asshole takes a bite out of it, and then we'll know what is the best chocolate bar for dildo. I literally, it's interesting. When I wrote this down in my notes, I just wrote best chocolate bar for dildo, Toblerone Twix.
Didn't even consider Snickers.
I mean, I knew it would come up, but I don't know. For some reason, I feel like there's so much in a Snickers that to me, Three Musketeers, like if I'm going to go for, I would try the Three Musketeers first, and then I might even try a Milky Way, and then I would go to the Snickers. Even though they're all kind of the same shape.
Here's one we did. Hold on, I think we missed with some. Milk Dud. Does that count?
Oh, I mean, it is a chocolate.
They're hard. They're
you-
balls.
You could put them individually in your ass.
Exactly. They probably feel good.
Like a Sister Marble kind of, something she would, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
Up and if you could, like, get them all stuck together, then you have anal beads. Anal beads.
Just put a string through 'em.
Yeah, but then, of course, you know, you could, like, freeze them together and then use them as anal beads, but then as your ass heats them up, they'll, you know, fall apart in your ass until you shit them out like little rabbit turds. But, you know, sometimes that already happens.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal to shit.
So if you're into like anal beads, then maybe Milk Duds is the way to go. What if you're into like a butt plug? I mean, I guess any of them could work as a butt plug, but
is there a butt plug type chocolate? Ooh,
those like Easter bunnies.
Oh, yeah,
Because I think the tail, like the feet, would stick out like a butt plug.
yeah.
Because
That's not bad.
That's for like the bad dragon type users
Yeah.
of fucking chocolate. Like
Yeah.
that's extreme.
Now, of course, those are hollow. So I mean, well, most of them, but you'd have to get one that's not
You
hollow.
can find them. That
Yeah.
are,
You'd have to get one that's not hollow, because if it is hollow, for sure your ass is going to take a bite out of that. I mean, that's.
Your ass would 100% take a bite.
I don't even think you could get it with like the tension of the asshole and how hollow those are. I don't even think you could get a hollow Easter bunny in your ass. I think like your ass would just kind of dissolve it as it tried to go in.
You'd have to be one of those people who like severely stretched out their asshole to such an unbelievable degree.
Oh yeah,
and then hold it wide open.
yeah,
so that, like,
those
it's
nasty people.
basically prolapsing.
Yeah.
And you just set it in there and then close
You're
your
right.
asshole. But then as soon as you close your asshole, I'm sure it's taking a bite of it.
You know, it makes me think of those. You know, those like windows that they'll put in the side of a cow. Have you ever seen that? There'll be like there will be like something like if cows have like like an intestinal issue or whatever, they'll like put a
I have seen
hole in
that.
the side of them, and
Yeah.
then like they put a little piece of glass on it, so or plastic most likely, so you can like see what's going on in there, or maybe reach in and
'cause
remove
you
some
can open it and
roughage.
get in
Yeah.
there.
Kind of that makes anytime I see somebody with one of those asses like that's just been ran through, they hold them open like that, and they're like red and pink inside, and you can see all their like
You think
guts
they're close
in
to
there.
death, like those people.
I don't know, but they're more closer to a cow with a window in its side than they are to me. Like
They're not even people.
Yeah, like I'm okay with like being like, hey, I'm a little loose because I've had gay sex for 30 years. Like I get that, but there's something like you've been putting stuff in there that doesn't need to be in there. If you can like literally open your ass, like I can look inside it. It's all red. It's you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking
I
about.
know exactly what
Yeah.
you're talking about. I've seen too many.
Those people are disgusting.
Absolutely, dude.
And like so they can like make it like move. They can like whoa 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 with their asshole.
With their nasty prolapsed ass.
Yeah, make it like.
Are we talking about a prolapsed ass or just a regular? Oh yeah, ew,
Yeah,
ew, ew, ew,
ew.
ew, ew, ew,
Yeah. I'm not one to shame anal, but some people just have it all tore up down there, and it's
I
disgusting.
mean, women do it with their pussies too. Like,
It's
you
true.
can find it on Reddit. People love. I mean, not people love. There's a certain amount of people who love destroying their pussy.
It's gross.
It's absolutely disgusting.
It's gross. And then I mean, you know, it harkens back to the BME Pain Olympics in some ways, sorta.
a lot. I think a lot of ways that there's probably a lot of crossover there.
Little sandwich. I'll never forget sandwich between two pieces of glass penis. I think that's the one that bothers me the most.
They flattened it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one that bothers me the most.
I think this came. I mean, I remember watching that documentary about those people who enjoy like mutilating their penises, and it's just very weird.
It's weird.
I mean, there's that guy in the fucking Wu-Tang Clan who did PCP and then cut off his own dick while he was on it. Didn't regret it.
Oh.
Didn't regret it.
Sometimes it's nice to be castrated.
That's what he wanted, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Is that still technically castration if you remove your penis? Isn't that for the balls?
That's a good question. I mean, you're like effectively. I always felt like castration was just removing your ability to procreate.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
But technically, if he's got nuts, even if they're just, you know, fancy and there's nothing for him to like shoot out of, like he could still make
He's still
cum.
producing sperm. Yeah, if they extract the sperm somehow, like
Nice try, brother. Nice try.
That'd
Nice.
be so
try
weird to
make
see
your-
somebody who had a no dick but balls.
and still came. It just like pulls up in this little like hole. Ew,
Ew.
ew, ew,
Ew. Yeah, because
ew.
how's he pee? Did he have a colostomy?
Ew, yeah, he probably has to.
But if he didn't and he just had a hole there to piss out of, he could come out of it.
Yeah, like a belly button.
Yeah, but you can't, like, you got to stimulate the head to get cum. Like,
Ew.
unless he just was horny and had a wet dream or something.
Gets plowed in the ass. I mean, there's a G spot in the prostate.
Fuck.
Gets plowed in the ass. Doesn't have a penis, but his nuts. But he's loving it so much, his nuts fill up a little belly button in his pants with cum. And then he has to, like, suction it out.
And then he turkey basers it into somebody.
Yeah.
And then they birth a child, and then he procreated. So
and
he's
that's
not
exactly, yeah.
he's not castrated.
That's why you got to go for the balls.
Gotta go for the balls.
Dumbass.
I gotta look up this guy.
Dumbass.
Rapper castrates self, jumps from Northwood balcony, survives. Because this was in 2014.
It was really not that long ago.
He jumped off the second floor balcony of his North Hollywood apartment today, but survived what was believed to be a suicide attempt.
Oh.
I don't know if there's anything like actually showing like what he has down there. Oh, here he goes. Wu-Tang Clan's Christ Bearer says he's proud of cutting off his genitals.
Oh.
It says he can still get down with the ladies. He cut off his
cunnilingus.
own penis. Oh, it wasn't PCP. It was synthetic marijuana.
Uh-oh.
He shed light on what made him mutilate his body and why he is proud of what he did. The Wu-Tang Clan affiliated MC sat down for an interview with the Celebrity News Vlad TV Friday to talk about the April 24th incident in which he chopped most of his manhood and then leaped from a second-story window. So it sounds like he might have got the balls.
Yikes.
The 41-year-old performer, dressed in a Jesus Christ Superstar t-shirt, explained that a toxic combination of PCP, meth, Molly, alcohol, lack of sleep, and depression stemming from child custody issues drove him to take a steak knife to his genitals during what he described as a PCP party in North Hollywood.
Steak knife. Oh, no. I was thinking like a meat cleaver. Just one quick... None of it's good. But a meat cleaver would be so much better than a steak knife, Wu-Tang.
He was upset that the mother of his children has taken out restraining orders against him and stopped answering his phone calls. I was high as a motherfucking man with no sleep and just frustrated because I cannot talk to my babies.
So I cut my own dick off.
Oh, he said, he basically said, I'm not paying, and I'm paying like 3 child support payments and I'm seeing none of my kids, and I really thought for that moment in time that I really hurt myself by not having a vasectomy. I was going to give myself one.
God.
He grabbed what he described as a steak knife and proceeded to mutilate himself.
Oh.
Due to the fact that it's not a myth, the black man do. I'm not really going to go into it much. We hangin', so I'm still able to work with what I'm able to work with and get it down, he reassured the host. So he's saying his dick survived because it's so big.
Yeah. So he like cut it in half. It's like what it sounds like. Ew.
The intoxicated MC realized he made a flooper, as he put it, when he looked down and saw his mangled privates gushing blood like a water hose, he recalled.
Oh, no.
Feeling certain that he was going to die because he cut off too much, Johnson said he decided to jump from the second floor. He emphasized that it was not a suicide attempt. He said, how I jumped was just so heroic. I Supermaned out that motherfucker.
What the hell is wrong with this man?
He was high on drugs.
Yeah, but I mean, he's like describing it like... Yeah, that's truly disgusting. Folks, I don't know what happened, but we stopped recording. Not too much happened from the time that I noticed it stopped recording to now, but we're just going to wrap it up there.
Yeah, wrap it up. Just more talking about this guy cutting off his dick.
If you're interested, we'll link him in his Wikipedia in the, in the description below. But until next time, folks, thanks for listening. And don't forget to put a condom on the Twix before you put it up your ass. Until next time, stay out.
Take care.
You too.
Be careful, go home.